ko yun.
Mabuhay Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, Mega Manila at World. Kung ayaw nyo ng cooking at sugar coating, ito ang YouTube channel nyo.
Alright, muli po, isang magandang gabi sa inyong lahat mga kaibigan. Pasensya na po kayo, no? We had to redo our live broadcast. It's for some weird reasons, that, we were having troubles with our connection, kasi nga update po ng update si Microsoft. But nonetheless, ako po yung likod, Snow Badua, marami po tayong pag-uusapan at interesting topics, ngayon pong gabi. Pero papatiin ko po muna ang ating pong tropa straight off Chicago, Illinois. We have with us Boss Homer Sayson, veteran sports columnist and veteran sports editor. He has been in some Visayan newspapers, before he migrated to the US. Magandang gabi sa iyo, magandang umaga sa iyo dyan, Boss Homer.
Good evening to your listeners. Good evening, Bossing. So, a pleasure to be here and discuss the hot topics in the PBA at saka, of course, internationally with Kai Sotto.
Actually, ikaw ang boss ko, boss no? Ikaw ang amo ko. Okay. Anyway, yun pa mga viewers natin, please feel free to join in, Mag-participate lang po kayo sa baba, mag-comment lang po kayo, At ilalabas po namin every now and then ni Boss Homer yung inyo pong mga messages. Okay? And hold on, dahil mas pagagandahin pa ho natin yung ating program, mas gagawin pa ho natin dynamic. Okay. First on the list sa ating pong topic this evening is Robert Boick. So last night, boss, you helped me out, Boss Homer. So last night, in case you just tuned in at hindi nyo po napanood yung replay kanina, so there was an offer daw, from San Miguel, to Northport for them to get Robert Boick. Ang kanilang inihahatag is Paul Zamar and ito po si Simon Enciso.
Simon Enciso, yeah.
Okay, and then another offer from Magnolia is this one, Olivia. Is this one, Paul Lee and Jackson Corpus. That's the first proposal from Magnolia. So mukhang bet itong Magnolia to get ito pong si Robert Boick. And then the other offer from Magnolia is Jackson Corpus still, but this time it's Gio Halalon. Okay? Pero kanina, gaya nga po ng sinabi ko, actually, minessage din ako ni Boss Homer agad kaya nag-double check ako. Sabi nga niya, mukhang parang 80%, 70% ba, boss, that he's going to the B-League. Can you tell us more about this one, this development, boss?
Yes, matagal nang, even before he signed that one-year contract extension with Northport, matagal nang nililigawan si Bolick sa Japan B-League. And in fact, because of that courtship, he was able to somehow, this is my estimation, my opinion, he was able to somehow leverage that offer. Now, may offer ako sa Japan. If you want me, then you keep me. But Northport somehow signed him to a one-year deal, allegedly 1.2 million pesos a month. But that contract is expired, is about to expire kasi 1 year lang. And then he comes back to the same place where that fork in the road, whether you stay in the PBA or you stay in Japan. So, Bolick has a decision to make. Before, he was single. Now he's married and presumably would have kids moving forward. So you want the most money available at your disposal. Diba? Mas malaking sweldo, mas maganda sa Japan. So he's in a different time and place in his career. So maybe now he's ready to jump because back in the day, nakausap kong isang agent doon sa Japan who has familiarity with the Bolick situation. Sabi, hindi daw si Robert at that time when they made him the offer, hindi daw ready na umalis sa Pilipinas to be away from his loved ones, especially at that time. No, this is very important. During that time na nag-offer sila kay Bolick, mahigpit ang visas for family members to visit Japan. Ngayon pwede na. Like look at Matthew Wright, dala na niya asawa niya at anak niya. So maybe this would change the position of Robert. Now, punta ako ng Japan, I get paid better. I can now bring my wife with me and another family member. Kasi standard operating procedure ng Japan B-League contract, boss, I confirmed this with Matthew Wright. Ginawa ko ng feature, nag-usap kami sa telepono. 3 apartment, 3 use of a car. So kung may loved ones ka, pwede. Tapos libre pa pagkain, bossing. Kasi maraming restaurants na sponsor sa B-League, sa teams. Now, if one of those restaurants na sponsor sa team nyo, pwede ka doon kahit araw-araw ka kakain. So the benefits, the perks are very good at Japan B-League. Unless, yung na sinabi ko previously, unless bigla na lang umayaw ni Bolick sa malaking pera, then he will stay in the PBA. But the move here, the most sensible move, practical move, is to go to the Japan B-League.
Pero Boss Homer, may idea ka na ba kung ano mga teams yung nag-i-spot ngayon? I'm sure marami kang contact sa loob ng B-League, no? Alam nyo, sa mga Filipino journalists, no, may pinakamarami pong contact, no, dyan sa B-League. Ito katabi ko ngayon. Ito si Boss Homer. No, so ngayon, Boss, ano yung mga teams na naghahabol sa kanya? At magkano yung salary niya? Magkano yung salary na ng
Yeah, no, unfortunately, I can't divulge kasi, di ba, remember the PBA went to, the whole PBA board, the governors went to Japan, di ba, to visit the Japan B-League officials, and in deference to that, kasi ayaw nila na there is an appearance na pinupoach nga yun ang the main topic that was broached there was that huwag niyong kunin yung mga player namin. So, careful din ang mga team na, especially with Bolick, he still has an expiring contract, not an expired contract, so we can't. But I can tell you that he is commanding at least $28,000 a month sa Japan. And how Japan works is, sasignan ka ng 1 year, the 2 other years are optional, pero kung magaling ka, then you get the bigger contract. That's what happened with Kiefer, that's what happened with 30, that's what happened with Ray Parks. And there is no reason to believe na kung Bolick pupunta doon that he would not perform well because he can create his own shots, he's a good guard, plays respectable defense. So the future is bright for Robert Boick to go to Japan.
Okay, so sa ngayon, ano yung chance na ma-prevent, no, ng San Miguel Corporation yung paglipad ni Bolick doon? Although, eto Homer, no, marami ang nagsabi sa akin, no, that Roosevelt Adams was being eyed by Ginebra. Diba? Bago ito pong si Roosevelt Adams eventually, no, signed a contract dyan po sa Japan. So talagang gustong-gusto ni Coach Tim ko nito pong si Roosevelt Adams. And siguro that's one of the reasons kaya suddenly yung Ginebra nag-plan B. Kasi tandaan ninyo, yung Ginebra po, nung na-injure ito pong si Japet Aguilar, they nearly struggled versus Meralco in the finals. Tandaan ninyo yan. So nakita ni Coach Tim ko yung loophole sa kanya pong sistema. So he was eyeing Roosevelt Adams. Nung hindi available si Roosevelt Adams, eventually, di ba, napunta ho siya dito kay Jeremiah Gray. So that was the story, no? Kaya nagkaroon ho ng mga pagbabago dyan po sa panig ng Ginebra. Pero ito, sa tingin mo hindi kaya maulit yung Roosevelt Adams dito na hinahabol ng San Miguel Corporation teams tapos eventually yung players opted to sign a contract sa B-League?
Yeah, yun ang sinabi nila, Snow, money talks, BS walks. At the end of the day, this is all about money. Kung mabigyan si Bolick, they have to dissuade Bolick from leaving Japan to persuade him to stay in the Philippines. There has to be money. And, you know, alam mo naman, yung mga teams dyan capable na magbigay ng, besides the salary cap, allegedly, may mga showcase kapamilya on the side. So, then if Bolick would get the money, that, you know, kung ang diferensya lang ng pera, Snow, is between like $2,000 to $3,000 a month, maybe kayang lamunin ni Bolick na, hey, it's $3,000 less, pero happy ako, nandito ako sa pamilya ko. Kagaya ni Matthew Wright. Matthew Wright didn't want to leave because may mga negosyo siya dyan. Ayaw niyang iwanan. Tapos may pamilya siya dyan. But the money, the difference of the money between Phoenix was offering and what he was getting in the Japan B-League, the gap was just so long na hindi pwede, hindi practical na hindi tanggapin. So yun din. If somehow San Miguel, and I don't doubt it, kasi alam mo naman ang San Miguel, marami silang budget. And then, si Al Francis Chua is a very good businessman and he is a very good closer when it comes to closing a deal. To give you an example, Japet Aguilar, same thing. He was also, ako mismo, I had personal intimate knowledge because I tried to reach out to Japet mismo. Kasi yung team sa Japan tried to tell me na, can you reach Japet? We can't reach him. And we have to go around certain corners na hindi malaman na we're going to him. And San Miguel closed the deal. Tinawag siya kay I think Al Francis closed the deal. So I wouldn't be surprised if San Miguel Corporation with boss Al Francis, they will also close the deal and say, it's also hindi lang to about players leaving, it's more about territorial and pride, di ba? Now, hindi nyo makuha you can take players from NLEX or whatever team, MVP group, pero sa amin, you can't take players from us. So that's another factor din. But at the end of the day, it's Bolick's choice to make and win-win to kay Bolick. Punta siya ng Japan, maraming mga perks, maraming pasweldo. Stay siya sa PBA, he will get the money approximately close to what he will be getting in Japan. So it's a good situation for Robert Boick. It's a good day to be Robert Boick today.
Mm-hmm. Pero ikaw sa tingin mo ba, itong style ni Robert Boick can excel dyan sa Japan? Kasi as we heard, Boss Homer, medyo, di ba, nakakadalawang puntos ng turn off yung mga Japanese sa atin. Kasi one, is that may mga yung first batch, yung last batch na kinuha, parang na-disappoint sila sa performances ng ibang mga Filipino imports And then another thing is that yung pagpunta doon ng PBA officials, egging them not to hire or to at least lessen yung kanilang ini-import ng mga Filipinos. What do you think of that, Boss Homer?
I think Robert Boick will thrive because Robert Boick can shoot the three. He has a mid-range jumper. He can create his own shot. And ang importante kasi sa the difference really with the PBA and the Japan is that they play systemic. It's a system. Na tingnan mo, look at Bobby Ray Park, look at Ravenna, look at Dwight Ramos. None of them play heavy minutes. You have to accept a certain role na ito yung asset mo gagamitin ka namin 12, 15, 20 minutes, whatever. Hindi kagaya sa PBA, sino yung star player, babad ng babad. So, having said that, I think Robert Boick will thrive. He will go there in spots and, he will make his shots and, depends sa naman niya, it's not the greatest defense, pero it's good enough to play in the international level. Remember, he's 6'3" also, di ba? Long arms, nimble feet. So, okay yan si Robert Boick. I have faith na siya. Otherwise, hindi siya hahabulin ng mga Japan teams, di ba? But they have persistently, relentlessly chased Robert Boick.
Alright, so guys, in case you have a question for Homer regarding Robert Boick, ibato niyo na po yan. Babasahin po namin lahat yan. And then afterwards, we move to another topic, that's Kai Sotto. But first, we'll just pause for a short break. Babalik po kami agad. Wag po kayong alis.
Malaking industriya ang isabong. Hindi matatawaran ng kontribusyon nito hindi lamang sa gobyerno kundi maging sa mga pangkaraniwang tao.
Kaning isabong gives government 642 million ang buwan. In 1 year, it gives the government billions. Anong imo asa magkumakuha ang tekwata na kurot sa COVID? 640 million a month mo na. Pila na'y matagaan na mong medisina.
Ang halagang ito ay naging malaking tulong sa pamahalaan at mga mamamayan. At iyan ay napatunayan noong panahon ng pandemya na bagsak ang ekonomiya at lumpo ang halos mayorya ng mga negosyo. Simula nang itigil ang operasyon ng isabong noong Mayo, hindi bababa sa 1.9 billion pesos na ang nawawala sa tax collection ng bansa.
We are standing to lose around 640 million, a consequence as to the income being generated by the industry. So there would be, of course, an effect to the contributions of PAB.
Malaking bagay sana ito para makadagdag sa pondo sa pagpapagamot sa mga nangangailangan at edukasyon ng mga mahihirap na kabataan.
Kasi po maraming natutulong sa ating kapwa Pilipino. Meron silang Pitmaster Foundation, nakakatulong sa mga dialysis, sa gobyerno. Isa po sa gobyerno, ang laki na naitutulong.
Mali na sabihing maraming buhay ang nasisira ng isabong. Dahil kung susumahin, mas maraming buhay ang nakasalalay sa industriya na ito na nagbibigay trabaho sa may 3.3 million katao sa buong bansa. Sila ang mga individual na nakikinabang at umaasa ng ipapakain sa pamilya dahil sa isabong. Sa pinakahuling datos, hindi bababa sa 10 milyong pamilya ang nasira ang buhay dahil nawalan ng trabaho, nawalan ng kinakain, at nawalan ng kabuhayan dahil sa pagkakaban nito.
Ang apektado talaga dito ay sinasabi nila 10% daw ng population ng Pilipinas.
Malungkot. Kasi wala kaming income. Pambayad sa upa, problema.
Nga malaking kawalan din po yung kinikita ko, halos na 1,000 humigit sa isang gabi.
Sa panahong limitado pa rin ang mga oportunidad ng trabaho at negosyo dahil sa pandemya, mas mainam siguro na bumalangkas tayo ng isang win-win solution sa issue na ito. Humanap tayo ng solusyong makikinabang ang bansa, ang publiko, at bawat pamilyang Pilipino.
Nasa tao naman po yun kung talagang malululong sila, kung anong gagawin nila, pag-iisip nila.
Alright, inuulit po namin hindi po kami, kumbaga, nangihimok sa inyo na tumaya o malulong sa isabong. It's just that we're trying to also support yun pong cause ng isang industry that has been helping millions of Filipinos through livelihood and also medical assistance. Okay? So anyway, balik tayo kay Boss Homer Sayson. Okay, may mga questions na tayo coming from our viewers. So ito, magbabasa na ako, Boss Homer, ng mga messages natin.
Yes,
So ito,
yes.
so sabi nitong, yung mga questions niya for Homer regarding Bolick, Robert Boick, yun po muna yung aming entertain at this point. Okay. Sabi ni Sebastian Cabudi, magkano po kailangan bitawan ng SMC para mapa-oo si Berto? Ibig sabihin, multiple teams pala naliligaw sa kanya ngayon sa Japan. Boss Homer, ano sagot mo rito? Magkano raw? Ang kailangang isuka ng San Miguel for them to hold. Ito po si Robert Boick.
Well, I've said this before. I've written this in my column. Around Junmar Pajardo money. Junmar is 2 million. Yun ang narinig ko But 1.5 will do. I think Bolick will stay for 1.5 million. Kasi ganda. Kasi here's the thing. Sa Japan, one of the bonuses sa Japan kasi, Snow, and to your listeners, 8 months lang ang season nila. But they get paid for 11 months. So bali 3 months libre. They don't do anything for those 3 months. Sa calendar year is...
Right now, boss, if I heard it correctly, the offer in Japan for Bolick to play there is $28,000. Tama ba
Yes.
ako? Around that number.
Around
so
that
that's
area,
what?
yes.
At the current 56 peso to $1, that's 1.5 million
Yes.
pesos a month.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So right now, he's earning around 1 million ba? O pero dinidinay ng
One-
grupo ni Bolick to, yung 1 million a month nila at Northport di ba?
Yeah, but when I wrote the column and I said 1.2 million, di nila deny, and I even wrote and I said, feel free to deny. Obviously, they're gonna deny because the rules of the PBA specifically allows na ang max lang is 550, di ba? So it would be a tacit admission that the salary cap has been violated kung i-admit nila, di ba? So kasi I'll give you an example. Dito sa NBA in 1996 when Michael Jordan had become a free agent and kasi si Jordan, he was a smart businessman. He signed only 1-year deals at a time so that he could control. So that's why at that time he was getting paid $36 million a month, which was a year, which was staggering in 1996. So when he became a free agent, the New York Knicks didn't have money to, allegedly, I read the article, the New York Knicks didn't have money to match what the Bulls were offering. So the Knicks offered an alternate deal na, okay, we can only give you this certain amount, but we can give you another 40 million, gawin ka naming spokesman sa isang sister company namin. But the NBA disallowed that because it is a sinicircumvent yung salary cap. So sa PBA, obviously, they're not gonna say, do you really, bossing, we were not born yesterday. Do you really believe that Pajardo is getting 500,000 a month lang sa San Miguel? Do you really believe Mikey Williams is getting only 500,000? No, these players are getting more than what is allotted in the salary cap. That's not an allegation, that's just common sense. And ako din, privy ako sa negotiation ng I also wrote this na when I asked Coach Chat Reyes na di ba, there was a time na si Mikey Williams didn't wanna come home kasi may parang naano siya sa renegotiation, di siya happy. So when I spoke to Coach Chat Reyes, sabi ko, ang narinig ko, Coach, 1 million yata. Sabi niya, mahigit pa doon. Yeah? So this one is exact words, mahigit pa nga doon. So obviously these players are getting way more. And hindi yan necessarily, yun ang sabi nila. The law is black and white, but the good lawyers will always find the gray area. Dito sa PBA, the gray area is, okay, we are not violating salary cap. We're giving Snow Badua only 500,000 a month as per required by the PBA memo. But there is no rule in the PBA that prohibits a team to give him another 500,000 through a partnership, a business, an endorsement, diba? So that's how they get to circumvent. Dito, for instance, dito sa Amerika, or even in the Philippines, scalping yung tickets. As defined by law, scalping is the act of selling the ticket more than what it said on the face value. Like for instance, yung Pacquiao tickets na 1,500 lang, if you sell it for 1,600 over the face value, that's scalping. But how they circumvent around that, bossing, is they sell it as a package. Oh, we have a Pacquiao ticket, free na ang airline at saka hotel stay, 5,000. So wala na. So the value of the ticket has been enhanced by the tickets and by the hotel stay and the airfare. Same thing with PBA contracts. You can honestly say they can submit a contract na, oh, ito, perma ko ang contract. And then the side deals, wala. That's not covered by the PBA. That is why players from the San Miguel Corporation or MVP groups, pag pupunta sila, matrade sila ng mga maliliit na teams, iyak sila. Bakit? Because the teams that they are traded with, the poorer teams, can only pay the max deal. Wala na yung mga side deal. And you only, and if you're like, for instance, if you're Troy Rosario, you're getting presumably not presumably, he was getting the max from TNT and, you know, whatever arrangements they may or may not have. When he was traded to Blackwater, Blackwater is only obligated to pay the contract that was submitted to the PBA, which was the max deal. So Troy would lose whatever side business that he may or may not have. Tapos yung mga bonuses, yung mga entering the quarterfinals bonuses, entering the semifinals, entering the playoff. So actually, itong salary cap is also a ginagawa na weaponized ng mga teams din. And that is why sa tingin ko, the teams are also reluctant to enforce a salary cap kasi nga, hindi na nila ma-weaponize. Kung wala ng salary cap, wala na. Everybody can. Do you really think like Dennis Uy? Dennis Uy probably could afford to pay way more, di ba? Kung pwede. The chokes to go. But ayaw nila papasok ang chokes to go. Di ba? So this is the whole thing. So
pero boss, ito. Ito mo,
Yes.
Homer, may tanong, no? Interesting itong tanong ni Vegeta Black. No, sorry, naging vegetable pa. Sabi ni Vegeta Black, paano niyo po kasi matatapatan ng offer ng Japan? Paki-explain po. San Miguel can do that, di ba? They did that to Japet, di ba? Christian Stan Hardinger, di ba? So how many players no have the San Miguel has the San Miguel group already kumbaga match no yung offer sa Japan? No, San Miguel can do that. But the question is still when. The question is still when. Kasi what's happening right now is Japan B-League teams against San Miguel eh. Yan yung nangyayari po ngayon eh. Di ba, Boss Homer?
Yes.
No,
Correct.
And I think somewhere, somehow, maararamdaman na rin ng San Miguel yung bigat. Kasi they're quote-unquote, overpaying players. Di ba? If they're going to match yung offer po dyan sa Japan. Di ba? If indeed, they are matching it. Di ba, Boss Homer?
Yes, and you know, like for instance, Terence Romeo is one of the players that the B-League has been pursuing. So, you know, of course, San Miguel, Terence Romeo has always been associated with San Miguel, although he has played with other franchises. So, ito na nga, you come back to the pride and the of San Miguel. You have to remember, Bossing, I also mentioned this. San Miguel as a corporation made 34.2 billion pesos in the first quarter of this year ata yun. So they have the money, they have the financial wherewithal, and also the gumption to spend it. Kasi iba naman, it's one thing to have money, and it's another thing to be willing to spend that money, di ba? In San Miguel, they have money, They're willing to spend, di sila kuripot. So, yun, that's a very good combination kung player ka. But then also practical din sila. Yun ang sabi mo, may hangganan. Look at Arwin Santos, sana siya ngayon. Right? So practical din naman ang SMC. Like, we will pay you when you're good and when you deserve your value in pesos as a player. Pero kung wala na, pwede ka na namin ding i-trade. So it makes sense to the Bolicks of the world na punta ako ng whatchamacallit, ng ibang ng Japan B-League kasi I can maximize my income.
Okay. So ito, Boss Homer, may nagtatanong dito ngayon. No, so ang sabi niya is ano raw ang masasabi natin kay Mikey Williams? Galing ito kay Edison Kitalig. Briefly, Boss Homer, let's discuss ito si Mikey Williams. So he did not
From
play.
What I heard, he missed practice. And I'm in the process of digging why he missed practice. Pero si Mikey Williams may history na medyo mahilig mag-clubbing. So I don't know. I'm not gonna allege if that's actually what happened. Pero yun, we will find out tomorrow. I'm writing a story about it and then i-encourage natin to read spin.ph yung mga ano natin. Kasi remember Mikey, di ba nag-champion ang San Miguel and he showed up there and nag-party sila, nag-inuman sila. Same thing when Jordan Clarkson came. They went out to our club. They partied allegedly until 2 in the morning. So maybe this is another case. Ano kaya? Maybe.
Homer, your headset. Homer, I think something is wrong with your headset. Homer.
But obviously
But
obviously there is some malfeasance here because TNT knows they could not afford to lose that game last night against Phoenix, di ba? And I have to give credit to Chot Reyes to stand up and say, hey, you know what? You're a good player, this and that, but I have 11 other guys and I have to protect their interest. I cannot allow you to not go practice and then parang wala lang nangyari. So, Dan, as a disciplinarian, that's good on the side of, on the part of Coach Chot Reyes. But tomorrow, like I said, premature until we find out and dig the facts. But I promise you, Snow, I'll tell you so you can tweet to your followers and pag next mong live may info na tayo.
Oo nga. Pero what's the status niya towards Coach Chot Reyes? Have you talked to Chot regarding that incident? Have you talked to Chot?
Kontrolyan, bukod sa
Not yet. I wanted to set Chot and in fairness to him
Mikey Williams, ito, walang matinding depensa minsan dito kay Mikey.
It's almost unfair because you have to step in and be close to him.
With Mikey Williams, kasama niya si Gabanal, andyan din si Pogoy and Eram. Mikey Williams brings together 5 points, bridging the first and second
I
try.
think that's important. Mikey Williams was a missing element in the first period.
Di Gregorio, stuck on an island with Williams. Mikey off the crossover.
Mikey Williams.
And he will
Dalawang beses.
But a bonus coming
Hindi
up.
sumakay sa airplano na
we were
binok
talking about the single coverage ng Alaska. When the ball is in the hands of Mikey
So he
Williams,
was kind of like playing defense.
they have a lot of room to
So
operate.
yun, walang good faith. So, medyo testing ang relationship.
Mikey Williams. Ito sinasabi, when you spread the floor, it's an open invitation for a great one-on-one player like Mikey Williams to attack. Watch it here.
You're gonna disrespect your
Castro
teammates
leading the attack.
despite the inclement somehow showed up.
It's a trade. And here comes
So, I will know. Tatanungin.
Even before the conference started, the TNT had the problem with Mikey, di ba?
Yes, very. Yun na nga, bossing. He did not, according to TNT, kasi na-fire out na si they already replaced Gabby Cui at that time. So, Chot was negotiating kasi hindi pa na-hire si Jolas at that time. So, he was actually directly communicating with Mikey Williams. And from what I've heard from the camp of Mikey Williams, 30 days, walang communication ang both sides. So parang, yun ang sabi nila, listening is the beginning of understanding. So kailangan, when you negotiate out of bad faith, there is always going to be lingering feelings. Although pag na-sign na sila, di ba, you can see everything is kumbaya. Di ba? Like, okay na kami, nagperma na. But when things like this happen, para it's opening a previous wound. Ito yung nangyari. Para bang mag-girlfriend, boyfriend na ayos na, pero pag may makamali yung isa, hinuhukay yung previous na indiscretion. So ito yung nangyari. So kasi kung walang atraso si Mikey Williams previously, when I see atraso, walang ill will ang TNT. Chuck Reyes is the leader of that band. Make no mistake. He could have easily called the team and said, hey, Mikey, apologize to the team. And then we're all good. But he chose a different route. He said, I'll suspend you. You're not playing this game. So di ba matindi, right? Tama ba? Because he calls the shots. He could always, just say, okay, ako na bahala nito. Or he could tell the team, fine na namin, pasensya, hindi siya sumipot sa practice, but we find it. You see parang the essence of discipline is retribution. So ito, may disiplina. Pero the discipline is, it was not to the welfare of the team kasi natalo sila. And, they needed Mikey Williams in that game. So hopefully maayos, but not a good sign for the relationship moving forward.
Anyway, kanina nagkaroon tayo ng glitch na nag-play ako ng video, mas malakas yung video sa atin. Pasensya na ako kayo kasi ako rin yung nagte-technical at this point. No, we're doing this public service para po sa inyo. No, kaya sana huwag nyo naman kaming inaaway pa rito. No, may mga nagko-comment pa rito, nagagalit kay Homer. Alam niyo, ito yung tanong ko sa inyo isa-solo screen ko lang. Nagagalit po kayo kay Homer, pero most of the stories na inilalabas po niya, nangyayari. No, ito yung pinagdaanan ko din dati, na stage, kung saan galit sa akin yung mga tao at karamihan ng mga nagagalit sa akin dati, gusto kong makarating dun sa pwesto ko. Gusto kong makuha yung clout ko, gusto kong makuha yung number of followers ko. Pero 'di ba, ito lagi kong sinasabi sa inyo, 'di ba, stop shooting the messenger. Homer is just a messenger. May mga issues po siyang nailalabas, may mga stories po siya in advance na nailalabas. Ang minsan po, hindi itinutuloy, kinakancel, just so na masira yung pangalan, credibility nito pong si Homer. No, so yun nga po, no? So,
yun na nga.
Homer.
Ito ang problema. The problem that's why when I write as a journalist, I'm not a blogger, I'm not a, Marites or whatever. My responsibility is to the readers of spin.ph. And just how we are structured is that may editor-in-chief tayo, magaling yung editor-in-chief natin, and they vet it, whether okay ba to, hindi ba. Hindi lang yan basta-basta. Unlike a YouTube content maker, yung mga nag-aari ng mga website na they can just say anything they want. We are actually bound by parameters. And ako, maraming nagbabasa akin, I'm told, because I don't read it, I do not worry about other people's feelings. When I write a story, Snow, I only worry about the veracity of the source, the reliability of the source, and the facts at hand. And I'm always fair. Why do you think lahat ng mga coaches na sa PBA, when I text them, they answer me, the players call me? It's because the trust. Because they know na kung mag-criticize ako, it's based on facts. And then, I also give their side. Kaya hanga ako kay Coach Alden Ayo. Coach Alden Ayo, I heard, was not happy when I wrote extensively about the bubble yung sa UST pa siya, di ba? So, lately, he's had success at Converge, and I thought it would be a good story to write kasi, the transition from college to professional. So, akala ko hindi siya sasagot sa akin dahil, galit siya sa column ko because I really eviscerated him in that column. Pero, he answered me. And we've been texting back and forth since yesterday. So, that is the relationship that I worry about the most is with my peers, sa Spin, tayo, Boss No, my readers, and my sources. I don't have time for the haters. So kung magagalit sila and they spend energy about that, regarding that, sa kanila na yun, Boss No. Basta sa akin lang, I'm just doing my job, and you put it like a nail in the forehead. Do not shoot the messenger, if you're angry at the message.
Kaya nga. Okay, so ito, lilipat na tayo kay Kai Sotto, and his chances sa kanyang NBA dream pa rin, and his playing minutes, at the Adelaide 36ers. Kanina, he played, we'll tackle that. May video na ipinadala sa atin yung anak ni Boss Giuseldo C. So, we'll try to share it with you later. So, samantala, we'll just pause for a short break. no, babalik po kami agad. Uy, invite ko lang sila, Boss Homer, that, you know, Go for Gold is holding a raffle, no? Wala po kayong bibilin, wala po kayong babayaran.
10,000, ha? Up to 10,000?
Yeah, 10,000. All you gotta do is register. No, madali lang po 'yun, ano? Ang gagawin niyo lamang po is yung page po ng Go for Gold. Ayan, you can see it on your screens. No, punta ho kayo doon sa naka-pinned post, tas may link po doon. Click it and then answer it, yung mga details lang ho dyan. Ano? Hindi ho nila pinamimigay yung mga yung mga impormasyon ho ninyo. We're using it to contact you in case you win doon po sa ating raffle. Okay? So, ganyan lang ho yan kadali. Homer and I will be back after a short break. Huwag po kayo maalis.
Mankind's insensitivity is Mother Earth's suffering. With the Philippines among the most vulnerable countries to climate change, extreme efforts must be done to reverse its effect. For our children's children, we need to make a change.
When future generations look back, let them not ask why we did not take this opportunity to turn the tide. Why did we continue in our profligate ways until it was too late? This threat knows no borders, no social class, nor any geopolitical consideration. How we address it will be the true test of our time.
Stepping up to the call of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, Pitmaster Foundation has extended its helping hand to create an eco-friendly Philippines. Seeing the effects of climate change during relief operations in typhoon-hit areas has opened the eyes of the Foundation's officials to environmental conservation. And all of these were echoed clearly during the Pitmaster Foundation-sponsored forum on climate change last September 22.
No matter how poor, you should be able to survive the typhoons.
The energy efficiency law has job creation.
We can effectively translate this to meaningful climate response actions.
We are here to support the government's call, the president's call on this climate change issue. No? Ngayon, we are here to support the root cause of all these typhoons and all the disaster.
To take the first step, the foundation has also partnered with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources to plant more than 7,000 trees across 250 hectares in Laguna. They are also open to partnering with non-government offices, academe, student organizations, and government agencies for reforestation projects to ensure ecological benefits for Filipinos of now and the future. Pitmaster Foundation will closely work with game breeders and farmers and different sectors in the game fowl business to reduce carbon emission and be conscious of the ecological footprint. It is not yet too late. We can fight climate change. This we can achieve if we join hands together.
Alright, so we're back, no? Pitmaster Foundation, kakampi po yan ng mga Pilipino. Okay, so we're about to discuss ito pong next topic natin, ano? Kai Sotto. So, teka muna, mukhang nawala si Boss Homer, Teka lang, ayusin ko.
I'm here.
Yeah, I know, I can see you. But
Okay.
sa video, mukhang nawala ka. Ayan, alright. So, Boss Homer, what's your take on Kai Sotto and his chances to reach yung kanyang NBA dream, for not just for himself, no, but for us Filipinos?
Well, it's so much to unpack. But as far as Kai Sotto is concerned, nakausap ko yung management niya at saka yung agency na sports agency na nag-represent sa kanya. The chances are good kasi nga, unlike Agent Joel Bell, who was more like a lone wolf, the Wasserman Group is a big sports agency in the US. They have over 60, 70 NBA players on their client list. So obviously may connection sila. So expect next year, this coming summer, Kai Sotto would be in at least 6 NBA mini camps. He will be in the summer and he will potentially be also in a G League roster. So malaki, medyo mas malaki ang chance ni Kai in terms of, you know, the bridge. The bridge has been there for him, is there for him, created by itong Wasserman Group. at the end of the day, it's still up to him. How much does he improve? How much does his stamina improve? Kasi nang tumawag sa akin yung coach, si CJ Broughton, I texted him, tinanong ko siya sa minutes ni Kai. And then he called me back, which is very surprising. So sabi niya, ang lament lang niya, kasi during the off-season daw, remember, nagpalit ng agent si Kai Sotto, di ba? Tinanggal si Joel Bell, and then dumating ang Wasserman Group. In the interim, hindi nakalaro si Kai. He was just doing individual workouts and shooting drills. Sabi ni Coach CJ Broughton, he should have played wherever he had to play. Kasi iba daw ang makapaglaro ka. So when they call this a fitness test ni Kai, hindi daw medyo maganda. So it is also now the reason why this lack of stamina, hindi nakalaro si Kai. Right now, last season, Snow, Kai was averaging 15 minutes. This season, 8 minutes and 43 per game. Nakalaro na siya ng 5 games. But the beauty is, even though yung minutes niya is almost sliced in half, ang rebounding ni Kai is almost the same, 4.4 to 4.2. What does this say? And also, he scored 16 points the other day. This means to say, if given the opportunity naman, with more playing time at his disposal, Kai had shown the potential. So, what does this say? Big picture? I don't know, because it's too soon. The season is still ongoing. But the talaga ang sinabi ng strength, power, stamina, the timing. If Kai would make tremendous strides on that one, the NBA being drafted in the NBA this time is very makeable. In terms of the whole Filipino, Filipino players who wants to go to the NBA, no disrespect, pero the best path is to go to the US and get the trainers or international. Unfortunately, hindi pwede kung dyan lang sa Pilipinas kasi limited. And that's not against the Filipino ingenuity is great. Kaya lang ang iba ang technology, ang science, di ba? So that's why do you think when Ray Parks wanted to go to the NBA, pumunta sa Amerika, Ravenna, why did they do that, di ba? Lahat sila Kobe Paras. So again, it's still, and also it's the vehicle that will transport you to where you want to go. For instance, ako, I write okay, but if I did not write for Spin, I probably don't have the same bullhorn and the same platform. So the vehicle that is Spin is very important also. So same thing with the players na pupunta, you have to attach yourself to a good agency, a good group of management team na sa'yo who would advocate for your interest. Like for instance, ako, the management team of Kai said, hey, maybe we can make some noise and pressure them to give minutes to Kai. So kung wala yun, di ba? Wala lang si Broughton. But when Broughton find out na may mga hinanakit about playing time, then he addressed it. So yun, that is yun ang mahalaga sa mga kay Kai. Is right now he is in very good hands and hopefully magiging na to. There's still few months to work, Snow, and I have faith na Kai will somehow make a turnaround.
Homer, what about the comment of some people that yung career, yung playing minutes nitong si Kai stunted by coach. Ng coach nila, and hindi siya binibigyan ng chance to, expose himself. May problema ba talaga?
No, here's the thing. Na-explain ni Coach CJ Broughton sa akin yan na you have to remember, he cannot worry about Kai Sotto's feelings alone because there's also 14 other players in the roster. And number two, Coach CJ Broughton is also under pressure to win. Kasi last time they were 12 of 17 teams. Now they are 8. And his tenure, his employment will hinge on gaano successful sila, what strides and improvements they've made. And for him right now, sabi niya sa akin, they are in the best position to win if Kai is only playing the minutes he's playing. He's nire-relyan yung dalawang mga veterano niya as opposed to Kai. Again, he also explained, but that will change as long as what he said was, Kai can show me more. What is more? inano niya, specify niya. 5 minutes in the tank. Sabi niya, what's 5 minutes in the tank? That's basketball coach speak lingo for yung bang talagang 5 minutes, walang urong, just go like as if the fate of the universe was at stake every possession. Right now daw, hindi pa kaya ni Kayan. Very physical ang NBL. He says he has 3 minutes in the tank. So ganun lang ka, ano ang stamina level ni Kayan so far as going up and down, pushing the ball up and down, defending, guarding pick and rolls, blocking, setting, staggered picks, all that stuff. So it's not a function of galit sila kay Kai. It's just a call of the coach na sabi niya, hindi pa ready si Kai. Hindi pa siya ready. Kulang pa talaga ng konti. Like, for instance, the other day, laro siya, had 16 minutes. Last night, 6-7 minutes. Tapos he did not even play in the entire fourth quarter and in overtime. So in fairness to Kai, mahirap din naman, di ba, kung walang consistency. It's so hard because basketball and athletes are very regimented. Tingnan mo si Russell Westbrook, nagreklamo siya when he was no longer a starter. Because sabi niya, I don't even know how to warm up. I'm so used to be starting. All of a sudden, I'm coming off the bench. I'm cold as a woman's heart. And then bigla na lang akong tatawagin doon. So yun ang mga adjustments. And if you're Kai too, if your minutes are erratic, sometimes you play in the second quarter. Sometimes you play in the fourth quarter. Sometimes you don't play at all in the third quarter. So mahirap pag ano ng routine. So it's obviously a work in progress, pero ang maganda lang dito is that both sides are recognizing what the problem is and are working to make it work better for Kai Sotto in terms of minutes.
Anyway, so Homer, basahin ko lang, Boss Homer, itong ilang mga messages natin, ano, and then siguro we can wrap this up, no? Ito, ang daming mga tanong. Kai and Wemban Yama. Night and day ang kanila raw pong diferensya, napakalayo. Potential number 1 pick versus undrafted galing kay Joseph Lumbong. Okay, so let's discuss that. No? Yeah, Homer.
Yeah, it's a very unfair comparison because Wembanyama had started basketball when he was young. He has this system in Europe, mas magandang sistema nila doon, and unlike Kai where he had been. Look at Kai, he moved to 3 teams in different 3 years. He moved 3 agents in 3 years. The only constant is EWP. And then he travels, iba-iba yung mga when you coach, when you change, parang walang consistency, walang continuity. And then it's also just the build-up is different. Makeup. Tingnan mo nga si Wembanyama, I have a hard time pronouncing the name, but si Wembanyama, he can shoot threes and he can run. Even Joel Bell, nung siya kay Kai, he was still an agent, he said, ang bigs daw, mahirap usually takes time to develop because the human body was not supposed to be that tall, 7'4", di ba? So that is the reason why bigs take time to develop. Ito lang talagang si Wembanyama, he's just a very gifted player. So it's not apples and oranges. It's a very unfair comparison.
Pero were you able to see the game kanina against Melbourne, no Adelaide, no?
No, because it was like in the middle of the night dito sa amin, Snow, and then hindi ko nakita, but I looked at the box score, I read the recap, and then nakita ko that he did not play in the entire fourth quarter and in overtime. So mahirap nga, wala ka. I think also another important thing is not necessarily to start, but to close. If you're playing when the game is on the line, 5 minutes, tie score, magandang experience yan. Because you're there in the crucible of the crucible of the fire, kumbaga. But if you're playing...
Actually, boss, kanina may nakausap ako na nanonood ng game, no? Yung anak ni Boss Giseldo, si Daniel Gabriel. He even sent videos, no? We can't just use it kayo, no? For some weird reasons, naglolo ko nga yung system natin. So sabi niya, Kai Sotto struggled dun sa early goings ng game. He had 2 fouls in 4 minutes. And then he missed both free throws and a 1 3-point attempt. Now, that was the start of the game. No, and also he was having difficulty guarding Juki. No, but dun sa latter part, maganda na nga yung ipinakita nito po si Kai Sotto. And if I'm not mistaken, he was even able to block itong si Juki. No, so at least that he's taking strides no, somehow he's improving. And the challenge right now dito for Kai Sotto and himself is masustain niya sana at sana mas maging hungry pa siya at mas determined to improve. Because, that's the only missing link to his NBA dream, yung improvement. Kasi, let's face it, if you wanna be an NBA caliber, dapat po NBA caliber ka. Dahil tandaan nun ninyo, some of the best players in the NBL, some of the top scorers in the NBL, MVP candidates were once NBA players. No? They were, di ba? Nawala ho sila, no, sa kanilang sa rotation ng NBA. It's all because but hindi ho talaga yung competition doon. Okay, so si Boss Homer, no, I can see him, no, trying to adjust yung kanya pong system, no. We will be right back in a bit, no. Panoorin po natin ito.
Nang inuwara ang isa, buong naging pabigat ako sa pamilya ko. Lalong-lalo na sa mga aki ko na nasubog na ako sa indao. Dahil ako kadayalis, gusto ko pang mabuhay ng matagal.
Hear me?
Alright, so ito ho mga kaibigan, yung mga ipine-play ho nating mga videos, ito ho yung nakikinabang doon po sa isabong na ngayon po ay natigil. Although nakakatakot nga po at this point, no, sayang po yung mga revenue na dapat 640 million, that's around 7 billion, no, per year na mawawala po sa atin. Kasi ngayon, may mga underground isabong nga po ongoing. Di ba? Isa pa sa mga nakikinabang sa isabong.
Nung biglang isinara po yung online sabong, malaking epekto po sa amin yun. Kasi yun po yung hanap buhay namin eh. Iniisip ko kung saan ako kukuha ng panggasto sa panganganak ko kasi wala naman akong trabaho. Saan ako kukuha ng panggatas, pang diaper ni baby.
Alright, so balik po tayo sa ating program. Siguro i-wrap up na ho natin ito in a bit, no? So, puntahan lang natin si Boss Homer ngayon. Ayan, Boss Homer. So, So, tingin mo ano nang dapat gawin ni Kai Sotto dito? So, should he stay sa Adelaide or should he just, keep on persevering to improve para kahit papaano ma-break niya yung rotation ng kanyang coach? No?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the best part is really sometimes they said yung old saying ng I think Sancho, I'm not sure, but sometimes the best way to move forward is to stay still. So Kai is best, although it's tempting to leave, but what would that do? It would create another change of scenery, change of environment, iba na naman teammates, iba na naman coaches, di ba? And possibly another country. So you stay because the path is there. Sinabihan ka naman ng coach, itong kailangan mong gawin. Then you just work on that and you have to have the mental toughness.
Correct.
Yan ang kailangan ni Kai.
And even sa PBA, you cannot expect playing minutes if you're not performing well, especially sa practice, diba? And especially sa mga minutes na ibinibigay. Precious minutes na ibinibigay sa iyo. Sabi ni Allen Iverson, Sir Snow, patindi ang talent sa NBA, tama ka dyan. Ngayon naglulutangan na. No, walang pure Pinoy makakalusot sa NBA in the next 30 years. Hindi ko alam kung sasang-ayon po ako sa inyo o kontra, no? Pero ito lang po kasi yan eh. Isa sa pinakamagandang example, no, ng Pinoy talent, homegrown Filipino, Tagalog-speaking athlete, no, ang nag-excel sa world is Alex Iyala. No, pamangkin ni Oli Iyala, ni Chairman Oli Iyala. Homer, si Alex po, when she was starting out, yung kanya pong parents finance her training and exposure abroad. Kasi according to them, di ba, pag dito sa Pilipinas pinalaro yan, stunted yung development nung improvement nung kanya pong skills. So dinala po nila abroad, enroll pa kay Rafa Nadal Academy, di ba? She's been playing against the best doon sa kanyang age bracket. So now, I believe he's in the semifinals of an $80,000 tournament. No, so, yan yung sinasabi natin eh. Pansinin niyo yung ibang mga tennis players natin na hindi ho nabigyan ng pagkakataon, hindi ho nagkaroon ng pondo na ma-expose abroad. Kung ano ho yung level natin dito sa Pilipinas, yun lang. Di ba? Yan din po yung sa mga basketball players natin. Kaya nga po dati, sabi ko, 5 years ago, I was egging yung family nito pong si Kai Sotto to bring him to Europe. Kasi ando dun yung, alam nyo, sa totoo lang, Homer, hindi natin pinag-uusapan itong playing minutes niya sa Adelaide. itong pagka-stab niya sa NBA draft, kung siguro naging maganda yung daan, yung ruta nitong si Kai Sotto. 'Di ba, Mark?
Yes.
Kasi
I agree.
Kinukuha siya sa Europe,
really agree.
mas pinili po niya yung US. When he was about to play for an NCAA team, bigla siyang lumipat sa G League. Nung nasa G League po siya, hindi siya nabibigyan ng playing minutes, bigla po siyang I don't know if it was a wall or something, bigla po siyang lumipat dito sa Pilipinas. 'Di ba? Against the will ng kanyang coaching staff. So what happened? Nawala po siya. And now he transferred to Australia. Tapos bigla po nagpa-draft. 'Di ba?
If he was, kung hindi lang umalis si Kai sa G League Ignite, even though he wouldn't have the minutes, he would have had access to NBA caliber trainers, NBA caliber diet and nutrition. Lahat doon. He could have taken advantage of that. And then also he's there. He's inside. You're in the building. Yun ang sabi ko, you cannot go to the prom if you're not invited. He was already in the building. Mga everyday, scouts, may mga papunta doon. And eyes are looking at you. I'm not saying walang mga scouts doon sa Adelaide, but it's across another continent. Itong America, nandito na siya sa G-League. But you know what? Kai can't worry about what happened in the past. What he has is control of today and tomorrow. And ang importante lang nga is to strength, conditioning. Yung parents niya dumating last week sa Australia, hopefully that will provide encouragement, boost, inspiration. So kailangan ni Kai ang positive thoughts and like I said, work really, really hard kasi mahirap i-break ang rotation. Yung dalawang malaki na, Bersto at saka si Macmillan yata. So if Kai doesn't show the improvement na dinidemand ni Coach CJ Broughton, malamang hindi tataas tong playing minutes niya, which is only 8 minutes and 43 seconds again.
Alright, boss, sabi ni RC Escosio, maganda kasi ang program sa France, sir, as I observe. 7 years old pa lang, may mga training na sila dito twice a week, 2 hours per session. Yan yung kasi iba sa mga sinasabi natin dito sa Pilipinas, di ba? Bibihira pa rin yung scientific dito, although we already have the likes of Tim Cone, Baldwin, etc. Kulang pa rin tayo sa scientific brand of basketball. More on kanto-kanto basketball pa rin po tayo. Diba? Anyway, so Homer, isang tanong na lang. Sino-sino ba yung mga players na posibleng tumalon ngayon sa B-League o sa Korea o sa Taiwan? Si Berto ba may alok? Si Robert Boick ba may alok to sa sa Korea?
No, from what I heard, he told me, Korea, Taiwan, Japan. Mismo si Robert Boick nagsabi sa akin doon. That was last year. I don't know this year. This year, alam ko 100% sa Japan may offer siya. I don't know if the Korean League and the Taiwan League still has offers for him. Kasi di ba, remember, nag-tweet ako tapos he asked me kung pwede mo ring ma-retweet. Kasi alam niya mas marami kang mga nag-idol sa'yo, bossing. And you have the bigger platform, the bigger
Binobola mo na naman ako, bossing.
No, hindi. Totoo yun Totoo yun. Robert Boick, yun ang request ni Robert Boick. Sabi, sir, pwede rin ipatweet ko kay Snow? Sabi ko, kung I do not make decisions on his behalf, but I can ask him. Kasi hindi naman.
Nawala ka na ng audio. So, ito si Homer, medyo nawala na ng audio. So, try nating kausapin mamaya. No? Try natin balikan. So, actually, ang intindi ko dito is that
sa PBA, mga followers mo, Snow, na may mga basketball website, tapos kinukuha yung content mo, nire-reshare, why don't you just tag Snow? Hindi naman kayo mawawala ng viewership. Kasi nagiging nawawala ng courtesy, di ba?
Yung sinasabi ko sa kanila, pwede naman tayo mag-reshare. Kasi same as we are resharing yung kanilang post. But anyway, water under the bridge na yan, yung ibang mga pages pinare-repost. Kasi it's a sign of respect sa original poster, di ba? Kasi sa America, boss, di ba? Sa yung mga sports pages, di ba? They just repost, reshare, di ba?
Yeah, and then they don't even credit. I don't really mind. They don't credit me. At least credit Spin. Credit the Yung iba kaya ng iba, I like it and I appreciate them na talagang ayon kay Homer Sayson sa Spin. Ito ang nila. But this other, very deceptive kasi to the uninitiated, aakalain na sa kanila galing mismo ang balita dahil hindi nila sinusource. Di ba? So hopefully, kasi like for instance, Snow is doing this out of the goodness of his heart. Walang bayad, wala lahat. Para lang talaga sa mga may love sa sports, may passion sa sports. And then the least you can do is subscribe and then reshare properly with the proper attribution. Yun lang, bossing.
Kaya nga. Okay, Boss Homer, maraming salamat sa iyo. Sana hindi ito yung last na oras na ibibigay mo sa amin. Idol na idol ka namin. Don't worry.
Basta Friday, boss. Friday and Sunday, I'm good to go.
Sige. Friday and Sunday, we go on air for our sports fans. Okay, Boss Homer, maraming salamat sa iyo. Baka may gusto kang i-plug dyan, may gusto kang batiin yung attorney natin, na pamangkin mo, na bagong lawyer na pumasa.
Okay na. Okay, si Carl Benedict, sa awa ng Diyos, nakapasa ng bar exam. So, but anyway, ang i-plug ko lang talaga ang idolo ko, Snow Badua. Bossing, thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure. Kahapon, I watched the entire video, 41 minutes and change, and inggit ako. Sabi ko, naku, hindi naman ako inimbita. So, this time, I'm so happy, bossing. Tapos, ganda ng bahay mo sa Nueva Ecija, boss.
Ancestral. Oy, boss, ito natutuwa ako. Si Isaac Maestre Campo, sabi niya, biglang tumaas ang respect ko kay Sir Homer. Alam niyo, yung respect for people depends on how you would want yourself to, kumbaga, analyze yung person. Hindi ba, boss? Kung paano niyo sila,
yes,
how this person will impress you. Di ba? Kung umpisa pa lang, galit na ho kayo sa tao. Bago siya magsalita, galit na kayo sa tao. Wala ho talaga mangyayari. Di ba?
Ang akin lang is, on a final note, is as a reporter and as a journalist, I don't really fish for compliments, but I do not also welcome yung mga bastos na don't even listen to the argument tapos mag-comment na lang, bobo. Tangina mo or whatever, it's if you want to disrespect if you dissent on the opinion, it's fine, but do it properly. And kaya nga ako, boss, believe it or not, I have 5,475 followers on Twitter. I have more people that I have blocked than I have followers. Can you believe that?
Oo nga. Hindi, kasi ito lang, let's face it, pareho kami ng style ni Homer. We're not afraid to talk. We're not afraid to say whatever we want to say that we believe should be heard by people. Kaya lang, the difference sa aming dalawa is that hindi siya sumasagot. He'd rather not entertain you and give you the shit that you want. Kaya ako sumasagot ako Yan ang baliktad.
I don't give them the time of day. I don't give them the time. Pag makita ko, bossing, kung makita ko, i-block ko agad. And then I also noticed na bigla na lang may nag-follow sa akin na fake account, the same number of followers, most often zero. So alam ko the same person, but at least they now know na pag may foul dyan, if they create crimes against language, nagmumura, nag-curse, then I will immediately block you. Kasi naman, ako nga, if there are readers that are, hindi nang babastos, sinasagot ko sila, pina-private message ko sila, pinasasalamatan ko sila. Thank you for your reading spin. Thank you for providing such avenue, ganito. Sinasagot ko, I take time, sometimes an hour of my time every day to respond to my followers. Pero pag nang babastos kayo, all you get is a block. So yun lang. So yun na nasabi ko, ikaw, bossing, mas matapang ka kasi ako, I don't have the stomach for it. Yun lang.
Kaya nga. Okay, so paano to, boss? Gawin na natin regular to every weekend din sa I'll adjust to your schedule, Ganitong oras tayo, 10:30.
Yes. Yes, bossing. Tapos wag mong kalimutan, bossing, Wag mong kalimutan. Last na to na parking shot. I love you, boss. See you next time.
I love you, boss. Ako, boss, let's do it siguro every Saturday dyan sa US. So that's Friday here ng gabi. Anyway, kung ano yung schedule mo, let's talk about it. Tapos 30 minutes lang. Kasi this one, we're already running 1 hour and 4 minutes. Masyado mahaba. But next time,
alam mo naman,
next time, we will try to keep it sweet and short.
Short, yes. Kasi alam mo naman ako, boss, sometimes I tend to be verbose. So, pasensya na. Unlike my columns where I try to get rid of what in journalistic parlance is called clutter, Dito pag naka-live ako, I get so excitable, I get so happy, lalo na kung kasama ko si Snow Badua. Makita naman nila lahat, I've been to other podcasts, they never see me this happy. Di ba?
Pero ito lang po sa amin, ito na po ang sa amin ni Homer. No? We know we cannot change the world, but at least somehow we're fighting to earn that, di ba?
Yes.
Di ba? As we all know, sa sports lang naman kami lumalaban ng gusto No? And
Yun yung sabi ko sa ibang readers na nagmumura, sabi ko, why are you so angry and so mad at the world? Sports lang to. There are other things you need to worry about, like your rent, your food, your bills to pay. Sports lang to. Dapat to. Sports is supposed to be a pleasant diversion sa mga problema natin sa buhay. The same way I go to movies. So, wag niyo gawing too much serious. Make it happy. Be happy.
Alam mo, Homer, ang isang dito, ang hindi alam ng mga viewers, ng mga followers natin sa Twitter or sa social media is that, at some point, may ilalabas tayong story, we don't get something from it, di ba? Wala tayong kinikita doon. We're just posting it because we're happy to share it to them. Di ba? Tapos nagagalit pa sila, mumurahin pa din na tayo. At some point, di ba, minsan may problema ka rin on your own, di ba, na kumbaga nasasaktan ka na sa problema mo tapos dadagdag pa sila sa burden mo. Di ba napaka-unfair di ba? So,
and then we do it out of passion. Like for instance, yung column ko, it takes at least 3 hours to write one column because I am so diligent. I am a conscientious fact finder. Nagre-research ako. And then, yun ang nakaka-insulto na hindi lang binasa, sabihin, diretso lang comment, gago. Stupido, bobo ka.
Ito nga, boss Ito ang broadcast natin, pag nag-air ako ng message ng isabong, nagagalit pa sila. Di ba, are you sending stars? Are you paying something to watch this broadcast? Di ba, hindi naman
Yeah.
Kami tumutulong lang kami for a cause, di ba? But anyway, so yun lang. Wala po bang Facebook page si Sir Homer? Homer, wala ka bang Facebook page? Maglabas ka na.
Wala. I used to have it, but it was just so much garbage. Lalo na kasi Spin, you have to remember, has 2 million followers. So kung every time I post yung column ko, and if I used to be there, and then tapos ang bastos had outweighed the decency. So I thought to me, it was no longer worth it. So may private account ako that only my friends and my family know. Like you. So alam mo, Facebook tong ginamit ko ngayon but insofar as if they want to reach me and they manifest decorum, I'd be happy to talk to them. I'd be happy to engage them. So yun lang. But sa Facebook, wala na. Alis na ako, bossing, sa Facebook.
Ito si sabi ni John R. Di Pamintuan, wala po bang Facebook? Tinanong na niya yan. Tapos, Kuya Ulrich, Mau ba Bisaya, Jai si Sir Homer? May nagtatanong kasi kung Bisaya ka, Boss Homer. He's from Cebu. At dati kang sports.
Taga Cebu ko. Dogay ko, gaswat sa Sunstar Cebu. I went to high school in UP Cebu. I went to elementary school at Colegio del Santo Niño. Nagpuyo ko sa Guadalupe. Bisdak ka dako.
No. Okay. Boss Homer, maraming salamat sa iyo sa lahat ng mga nanood at nag-participate sa ating program ngayon. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. We'll see you again next time. So hopefully, itong aming partnership, will be a weekly affair para ho sa inyo mga sports fans. Maraming salamat po sa inyo.